Welcome to Bilingual Analytics. My name is Roland, and today I'm going to show you the result of a true, out-of-the-box thinking Power BI report. From time to time, I like to think about fun data visualization projects or just ideas that I haven't seen implemented before. A week or so ago, when it was my turn to prepare dinner, I realized how much time I spend on my favorite food sites looking for inspiration. It was actually more about the fact that sometimes it's super hard to find a recipe that I used 3 or 4 months ago. I don't remember the name of it, and if I start searching for the ingredients, I end up losing precious time for browsing rather than cooking. So how can I solve this problem? Easy, with Power BI. But before I show you the end result, I need to ask you to click on those buttons below. You know the ones I'm talking about. It helps with the promotion of the channel. Thanks a lot in advance. Now, let's head over to Power BI and start with the finished product. First of all, welcome to Bilingual Analytics Cookbook. This is going to be the first edition. I already have a couple of ideas to fine-tune once I have a bit more time to spare on this report. Just look at those pictures on the bottom. They make me hungry. Like any other cooking books, we have 3 sections: entrees and soups, mains, and desserts. You can click off any of these buttons, but for this demo, let me start with the usual order. Unintended. While most of the reports out there in the wild are about sales, finance, or logistic results, from time to time we have to enjoy life and use Power BI to help us with that. What you see on this page are 4 recipes that I flagged as my favorite starters or soup options. We have the name or the title for that recipe, the rating given by others, and direct link to the website. Additionally, if I click on the plus icon, I can reveal a bit more details about a certain item. But the fun doesn't stop here. I'm not sure about you, but I'm a visual eater. No, I'm not eating visuals, except if it is a pie chart. What I meant is that I like to see the food that I'm about to prepare. To help me with that, if I hover over the rating, I can see the main picture for that recipe. Isn't that awesome? It is, I know. In this tooltip, I also have additional information about the rating, how big of a sample size rated a certain food, and some info about the prep and cooking time. These are also quite useful, as in some cases I just want to prepare something quickly for the family. And as I mentioned, if I click on the link, it will open up the full guide in a new window. But what happens when our fridge is full and I actually want to find a recipe that contains, let's say, zucchini? I can use the ingredient filter on the bottom section and type in the name of the ingredient. Hit enter, and now I only see those recipes that have zucchini in it. I'm pretty sure our household is not the only one cooking based on the ingredients we have available, especially if something is close to its expiry date. Now that we have discovered the first course, it's time to head over to our mains using the page turner or navigation button at the bottom right corner. I wanted to create that restaurant menu page turning experience. Also, I think it's just easier to navigate and find the type of course I'm about to cook. As you see, we have the same features and functionality here with the details and the tooltips. And finally, let's have a quick look at my favorite part, desserts. Yeah, I have a sweet tooth, so I'm confident that this page will fill up quite quickly. Again, all the same just for desserts. Look at that gorgeous chocolate mousse. Now that you have seen the report, I would like to show you that it's super easy to replicate this on your own. Many of you are probably already thinking about how I did this or that, so stay a bit longer and I reveal all the bits and bobs I used to create my first Power BI cookbook or recipe book, doesn't matter how you want to call it. Just like other cool data viz projects, this one also starts with a welcome page. I have my background with these amazing creations on the bottom and 3 buttons in the middle. Sorry, I should be more precise. These are not buttons, but shapes. Sometimes I get confused because for some reason Microsoft differentiate these instead of combining all into a single category. But with all the recent updates to shapes, at least they are heading to the right direction. So these are pill-shaped shapes. with page navigation action. Each of them help the report users to navigate to the right page of the book. And to make sure that it works smoothly, just remember to hide all other pages after the welcome page. All other report pages, or at least others that can be accessed from the report, like entrees, mains and desserts, follow the same logic, the one that we went through earlier. They have the same background image, a matrix, a slicer, and button or buttons. In the matrix, we have recipe and description fields. These are coming from the imported file that I created for this project. But essentially, once I prepare ours, it's just a list of recipes that we liked, cooked, tried, and wanted to add here. Something similar to what you see on the screen right now. Then we have the rating and the link. I don't like when a URL is visible, so I switched it to URL icon under the values in the formatting pane. The ingredient slicer is a text filter which is a downloadable custom visual. All I did was to click on the 3 dots under the visualizations panel and get more visuals, then search for text, and the first one by Microsoft is the one I use. There will be one more custom visual, but I'll cover that later. So this slicer is essentially a text search tool. I have 3 columns as ingredients that I combined in Power Query to a single column and added here to this slicer. It is trying to search for any word that I have typed in. Let's use the same example as before, zucchini. It does a great job, and the reason why I love this is because of what you see right now. In some cases we might have multiple columns with different text and we just want to search for specific text in those fields. The best way to do that neatly is to download and use this slicer. And lastly, I have another shape, not button, that I use as a button. It is a page navigation button that helps to navigate between the pages in my book. And finally, let me show you the tooltip page that handles all the fancy bits with a picture of the food. On the top, I have a smart narrative visual with the rating, number of votes and timings. Because on this page I have no filters, it is just simply going to summarize all results. But as soon as I hover over a certain report element, filter context will kick in and these will be updated based on that single selected recipe. And below the smart narrative, I have another custom visual called Image by CloudScope. This one is not required for image URLs to work, as we could use matrix visuals as well. However, it just provides greater flexibility with alignment and fitting options. And for a database project, presentation is key. Let's have a quick summary before you go and start creating beautiful reports. This was more of a proof of concept for me to see if it could work. I'm actually quite happy with the end result because it ended up being an easy to use report. To be honest, the most time-consuming bit was the background creation, finding the right images and align everything properly. If you want to know how I did it, watch this video about report alignment, where I go into the details. So what's next? Probably from now on, we are going to save every recipe that we discover online and fill in the details for them. It only takes a couple of seconds, can do all of that on Excel Online, so we can do it even with our phones. Maybe add our own ratings to this once we cooked a certain meal and overlay that with others' feedback. Quite a few options to further enhance the report. But what I really wanted to show you today is that Power BI is so much more than just a corporate tool. You can use it for lots of great stuff, even if you don't have a star schema. And as a final remark, let me add a short video here, how easy it is to use this report in a kitchen on a tablet. Really cool application, right? Thanks for tuning in today. Be sure to comment below if you have any ideas how to further enhance this report. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button before you leave or before you watch one from the above videos. Until the next one, see ya!